The Minister for Health.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. I'm rising today to talk about DisabilityCare Australia. Something as big a change in this generation as Medicare was in our parents' generation. It's going to transform the lives of Australians with disabilities and their carers. We're creating this new scheme and locking in funding for the future. By 2018-19, around 150,000 people with disability in New South Wales will be benefiting from DisabilityCare Australia, the National Disability Insurance Scheme. If a person has a permanent disability, that means they can't function without help, like getting around or communicating. It's likely that they'll get support from DisabilityCare Australia. We estimate that in my electorate of Sydney, around 1,800 people, 1,837 individuals will be eligible for help. Deputy Speaker, I met on the weekend at a street stall on Saturday the 25th of May with a beautiful family, Karen and Richard Keith, and their children Aaron and Roxy. Aaron was born with cerebral palsy, and Karen and Aaron and Roxy came to thank me as a representative of the government, because the very day before, on Friday the 24th of May, Aaron had taken his first step unaided, and he had been able to do that because of the physiotherapy that he'd received through the Better Start program. Changing lives already with Better Start. Imagine the difference that disability care will make to Aaron's life in the future. I've been contacted by many constituents. Kate from Redfern said, "I can't imagine the emotional, physical and financial stresses of more severe disability in a family where there are no points of rest, and the impact of one member having to not work and be a full-time carer with little support." She supports DisabilityCare Australia. Julie from Balmain says, "I have a friend and a grandchild with a disability. 3-year-old Adie's parents are great, but I can see they are flagging. Adie's disability is profound. She may never speak and has to be strapped into a standing chair. She is a bright and beautiful, loving little girl, and we're all frantic at the stress on her parents now and the terrible fear that there'll be no one to care for her when they die. This is not a club anyone chooses to join. Their lives can also be changed by the National Disability Insurance Scheme or DisabilityCare Australia." And finally, Mr Speaker, I saw some correspondence from Neil, who talks about his daughter and having to ask friends and colleagues to help raise money to have their car converted so that it can take her wheelchair. He says that the NDIS promises to be a godsend for many hundreds of thousands in similar situations to ourselves. The potential for funding to be provided for things like vehicle conversions will mean that the wonderful and overwhelming generosity of friends, family and charities and others can go to others who are in desperate need of assistance. The stigma, if I can use the word, of having to ask for help is that very heavy burden. To know that help can be provided by the government through an equitable levy paid by all Australians is a positive and reassuring step forward.